As you've just said, we know that every year winter pressures in hospitals do exacerbate, so they get a lot worse. But you've got to remember, this is a high volume service. We see 23 million people every year turn up at A&E, and around a fifth of those are admitted into hospital. That's a huge number of people. So actually managing a big and complex system like this is very challenging. However, it has got a lot worse this year, and we think that is to do with the fact that year on year we've seen greater demand. We haven't seen the additional funding go with that, and particularly we've seen a cut in social care funding.
So, Saffron, why do you need a government review then? Because you know the problem, don't you? The money isn't there because cuts have had to be made. Why do we need to review it? Is it just a case of saying to the government, listen, unless you want people to die like that poor fellow at the end of RVT there who says his cancer will be untreatable if his operation gets cancelled again, you have to accept those people are going to die, because that's where we are now?
I don't think we can ever say that's where we are. That's why we want the government to review the situation. What we want to be able to do is look at the different methods that we use to manage winter pressures. We want to look at the whole combination of what happens to people before they go into hospital, to see if we can prevent that, what happens to them in hospital, and to make sure that they can get out of hospital. In particular, we want to look at things like the policy of cancelling planned operations to see whether that really does have an impact, or whether we can actually think of different ways of managing this situation, because it's got to the point where it's no longer acceptable to patients, it's no longer acceptable to the staff on the front line, and for all of us as members of the public using the service, we should demand, you know, a really effective A&E, a really effective hospital service.